I wake up exhausted, even in the morning, like I'm made out of decaf. I'm barely running. Oh, and I hate parties, it's just too many bodies. I don't like small talk, I'm always leaving early. Then I met you and my eyes changed, and now you're in my eye range. I'm gunning for you. You changed my heart in a big way. Now every day's a celebration, and I wanna say, when you're around it's already alright, already alright. Like a radio, I'm tuning into you, I'm tuning into you. You're turning me on, you're turning me on. And I'm my own person, not like I need protection. It's just that I wanna change and go in your direction. God, you're a laser beam, you're on my teen dreams. And if I knew you in school, you'd be too cool for me. Then I met you and my eyes changed, and now you're in my eye range. I'm gunning for you. You changed my heart in a big way. Now every day's a celebration, and I wanna say, when you're around it's already alright, already alright. Like a radio, I'm tuning into you, I'm tuning into you. You're turning me on, you're turning me on. You made me feel like I could dance all night, already all night. Like a live wire, I'm always louder with you, I'm always louder with you. Keep turning me up, keep turning me up, 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 up. When I get down, when I get down, when I get up, 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 up. When I get down, when I get down, when you're around it's already alright, already alright. Like a radio, I'm tuning into you, I'm tuning into you. You're turning me on, you're turning me on. You made me feel like I could dance all night, already all night. Like a live wire, I'm always louder with you, I'm always louder with you. Keep turning me up, keep turning me up. When you're around it's already alright, already alright. Like a radio, I'm tuning into you, I'm tuning into you. You're turning me on, you're turning me on. You made me feel like I could dance all night, already all night. Like a live wire, I'm always louder with you, I'm always louder with you. Keep turning me up, keep turning me up. When you're around it's already alright, already alright. Like a radio, I'm tuning into you, I'm tuning into you. You're turning me on, you're turning me. I wake up exhausted, even in the morning, like I'm made out of decaf. I'm barely running. Oh, and I hate parties, it's just too many bodies. I
Howdy, 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 and meowdy! Happy Monday, Catfish. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to your Monday. Despite it being Monday, and Mondays are gross. Everyone knows Mondays are gross. But I hope you're having a good start to your Monday regardless. My Monday's going pretty good so far. It's cloudy and rainy out, so it actually isn't hot again, which is really nice. I will gladly take another day of it not being hot out, instead of the opposite, where it is in fact very hot out. Boy, yesterday's stream was interesting. I forgot how not good episode 7 of Star Wars is. And just getting to replay it through video game form was... it wasn't fun. Episode 8 and 9 aren't going to get any better, honestly. But it's a necessary evil. We knock those out on Sunday, and then we can dive into free play doing whatever we want, thankfully. But today, we are returning to Katawa Shoujo. I'd meant to do this last week, but I wanted to take another vocal rest day. So we are doing Hanako's Act 3 today, which shouldn't be too long. I still have the guide up on decisions and whatnot to make to get the endings we want. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 scenes and 2 decisions. Of which one of those decisions will immediately send us onto the bad ending, and we're not gonna do that. We're not going for the bad ending. Because I've seen the bad ending and it is... not good. It is, in fact, appropriately bad. So we might do the neutral ending. Actually, no, we will, because neutral ending comes from Act 4, which we can do next week. But we will do Act 3 today. And then next week when we do Act 4, we will start off making the decision that leads us to the neutral ending. And then we'll go back and do the decision that leads us to the good ending. Don't got much to yap about today, so let's get the story up and going and dive right in. Oh, and right. Wednesday, I will not be streaming because I am partaking in Family Feud with my stream team, the Gremlin Squad. I forget who the others were going up against are, but we were invited to partake in a game of Family Feud, which will be fun. And I will have details for that Wednesday morning, because it doesn't start until the afternoon. But I will have details for that Wednesday morning about where you can watch it at and all that. But it'll be fun. I love Family Feud. Okie dokie, game is up, so we bop and we bop. And I think I mentioned before, but yeah, each of these little pictures you see comes from a different act. So this one on the very bottom is just the Act 1 picture that you get from starting the game. Then these ones are Hanako's Act 2, 3, and 4 pictures. And as we do the other girls' acts and start on their paths, more pictures will show up on the edges branching out. And we will get more pictures to fill in here, because we just have... We're missing all of page 2. Oh, I probably shouldn't look at the gallery, because the gallery is kind of spicy. But yeah, this one is just these pictures of things like medicine bottles and the teapot and the booze. Hanako's phone, the little charm she got for it. The letter. Wait, this one is just all the little bonus things you see in each route. But yeah, we definitely should not look at the gallery on stream, because I just saw a titty, and Mr. Twitch would get mad at that. But then there's the cinema, where you can see each character, each girl's major cutscene for their route. Like, this one is just the first cutscene you ever see in the game. Which, we could watch this one again real quick before we start. And God, if you've ever been in a hospital for any reason, you will recognize that beeping. That is the beeping of a heart monitor, which is generally always hooked up to pretty much every patient. Keeping track of your heart rate and breathing, like oxygen and stuff, just to make sure that everything's fine. Because if things do start to go south and say you have a heart attack or something, the heart monitor will start beeping louder and faster and will immediately alert the doctors on site that, oh, hey, this person is having a problem, you should take care of that. But having been in the hospital many times for many reasons, I don't like the heart monitor sound anymore. It's annoying, is the best way I can describe it. It's just annoying. Like, the first few times you hear it, you're just like, okay, I just deal with it, it's there, I have to, I can't, or I can try to ignore it. But when you've been in the hospital as many times as I have, it's just, you get annoyed by it. Even though it is a necessary evil. And yes, we still have mods to do. Like, eventually I'm going to get back to doing the Sisterhood fanfiction mod, which I think we have a save for that. Yeah, we do. So I'll probably end up doing Sisterhood over instead of just back where we were, just because I don't remember where we left it off. But let's dive right back in. Let's see, scene, invitation. Yep, first one of Act 3. Also, all of Hanako's acts are named after chess moves. I don't remember what castling is. Let me check. Castling chess. Ooh. Oh, okay, I know what move that is. That's the move where you can move two pieces in one turn. Where you move your king to swap with a rook. It consists of moving the king 2 squares toward a rook on the same rank and then moving the rook to the square that the king passed over. Castling is permitted only if neither the king nor the rook has previously moved. The squares between the king and the rook are vacant, and the king does not leave, cross over, or finish on a square attacked by an enemy piece. Yeah, that's a somewhat common move. Not the easiest to do, because you need to have nothing in the way of them, and you can't have moved them to begin with. Okay, let me get a sipippy of drink, and then we start. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small clack against the board. Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute moves, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Mate. Again? What does that make this? 3-2? Stalemates don't count. Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That, or she's been holding back. I'd never have thought it when I first met her, but she really has a knack for this game. Chess seems to have been a popular pastime for the two of us. Hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises from below remind me a little of my life before Yamaku. Though I'm by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get back to. Fancy another game? I have to finish my homework. Oh. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. But, what about this? Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that, I've got it. Oh, okay. See you. Later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team. Since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, I guess it's only normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. Ah, boy, you and me both, my guy. Like, I can't run anymore. I can't even jog. Between needing a cane to help me get around and being an asthmatic mess, I can't do much exercising, honestly, outside of walking. Fuck me, I forgot my inhaler in my bag. Let me grab that real quick, because I need it. And I need to take my allergy med as well. Because you would think, spending most of my time indoors, I wouldn't need my allergy med, but no, I still do. Pollen has an annoying way of getting where it doesn't belong. So let me take this little pill, I'll puff on my inhaler twice, and then I'll be good. Okie dokie, allergy med taken. That's one. Much better. Got a little dizzy there. But that's better. But I have other reasons than that for my coming here so often, and I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily is a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily and decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Hisao. Hanako turns to see me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Hisao is here as well. Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping, now that I've finished with my class representative duties for the day, that I might have the two of you accompany me for tea at the Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change. I'd be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not all that much. Wonderful. It seems that we're decided then. God, I've never been to an actual tea house before. I should... I'm gonna quickly look up and see if there's actual tea houses near where I live. Just cause it would be nice to one day go to a proper tea house to sit down for tea and sweets. Okay, there actually are a decent few tea houses near me. Lovely. I'll have to make a trip at some point to just go have tea and something tasty. I cast my eyes around the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there are only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it has been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town. Though it's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako's to retract her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand, but soon replaces it right back where it had been. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? She gives a deep bow, her well-deliberate and professional introduction putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change from the norm for Yuko. Just tea, please. Hanako. Hisao? I'll have a slice of pie and a coffee. Ah, pie and coffee sounds so good right now. Just tea, please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish and I'll be back shortly. Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter and we make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. I figured we're still in the first scene. We slip into our seats, the girls on one side with Lily's cane propped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako's not doing something that she so often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around them doesn't exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Very tiring indeed. How do the other representatives go? Better than I, but not by much. Shizune is a harsh taskmaster, no matter whom she deals with. It doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place if it's that bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just that the people involved are sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if anyone could make her do so, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. With that, she leaves to the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it, I don't think it was you. But... I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? That went a bit awry. Hisao, you utter dunce of a boy. You utter buffoon of a lad. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended, and by now I really shouldn't be quite so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie, and a mug of steaming coffee appear in front of us. I notice that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Ah, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping that you might accompany me for present shopping in the city this weekend. Hanako's birthday is soon? I suppose it would be a nice chance to cheer her up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression, and I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside of our chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do for her birthday? A party or anything? Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be. Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why as she brings her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Hanako takes her seat once again and wastes no time in drinking her tea. Soon, the 3 of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to like life here, as isolated as it may be. I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. Coffee here's a little bitter for my tastes, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. It takes her a little time to formulate a response. I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing is not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice given how soft-spoken she is. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this since she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. What about you? Me? She hesitates before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she's told me hers. There's chess, obviously, but also... There was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in the hospital. This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction this is taking, and the more I think about it, the more I am too. It sounds as if you've picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence in order to prevent things getting worse. That or physically retreating. Boy, if I'm not used to that. Or was used to that. I don't quite do that anymore. A soft ringing gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious that the sound's coming from her phone. Sorry. It's okay. Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the call a little distance away to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. Hanako smiles, but doesn't take up the hook for further discussion. I end up just sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing as best I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it'd be like to have grown up somewhere like this rather than in the city. You come from the city? Looks like I found something she wants to talk about. Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through. It sounds like a lot changed. It did. I'm still not quite sure what to make of it all, though. It's a bit of a culture shock in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamaku, right? I'd imagine most new students would. Not really. Hanako gazes a little to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tilt my head inquisitively, but a couple of seconds pass with no further answer. But can't we deal with that on Monday? The fallout has hardly settled from the last... I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked onto an idea. Yes, thank you. I'll talk to you later then. Goodbye. Lily's conversation ends with the snap of her phone closing. She returns to our table, but doesn't take her seat. Need to go? Unfortunately. Class representative work calls once again. I can come with you. It's alright, Hanako. I'll just be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. Besides, if you were to accompany me on my way back to the school, who would keep our poor Hisao company? Okay. I can join you for tea again later tonight if you'd like. I may well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to the both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill and gives her regards to Yuko as she takes her leave. And then we're alone. It may be all well and good to leave Hanako and me alone to have some time together, but all it typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while. I wonder what I must look like to Hanako. I never thought of myself as a scary person, but to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me intensely self-aware, as if it's my fault that she's so troubled. She might get more used to people if she were to stop being so cloistered in Yamaku, but then again, when even people much older than her react so strongly after a single glance at her face, she may well feel the same way I do now. It's a real catch-22. If she stays in Yamaku, she won't get used to socializing, but if she leaves, any efforts she might try would get thrown back at her by the people who can't deal with her scarring. And those people are dicks. Want to order something else to keep us going? We haven't had much of a dinner after all. Hanako brightens and nods vigorously, glad that I brought up the topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze and she dutifully comes over to take her orders. Would you like something else? I'll just have a sandwich special and a hot chocolate. Bit late for coffee by now. Hanako? I'll have the same. With a nod and a bow, Yuko turns on the ball of her foot and returns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments and working the machine to make her drinks. Not a word is said between us until Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives us our food and drinks before moving to a customer who's called for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having much of a conversation with my companion and decide to just enjoy the meal, small as it may be. It tastes nice, as does most of the food here. After having a few mouthfuls, I notice something's missing, namely the sound of Hanako eating. Looking back to her, I see Hanako fidgeting a little behind her untouched sandwich. Not hungry? She shakes her head from side to side. Even as she does, the patch of hair she keeps over the right side of her face still does its job in hiding it almost entirely. It's not that. Aw, I was all ready to have your share too. You looked troubled. Is something wrong? I'm startled by her thinking that I'm the one who looks troubled, but on second thought, she's probably right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing, and she's hardly a dim person. Quite the opposite. We're friends, right? Friends. From the tone of her voice and shrinking posture, it looks as though I've hit yet another landmine. This is another reason why interacting with her is difficult. The self-imposed psychological barriers she puts up between herself and others, including me, and most likely even Lily. It's a shame that... I think that we are. I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer, all the more so since I was about to give up on getting any reply at all. I see. Am I wrong? Sorry, No, it's just... hearing confirmation of that from you is reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yamaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate with others. I find myself chuckling a little. It's surprising how much of a relief that was. I can feel my face smiling as I pick up my cup of hot chocolate and bring it to my lips. Ouch, that's hot. That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first. I guess I'll wait then. Yes, silly boy, you always wait for your hot drink to cool down. Even if it's tempting. Because I've burned my tongue my fair share of times. And I'll probably end up doing it again. The both of us share a little chuckle. The situation isn't really that funny, but for some reason, it feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. I guess we were both a bit wound up about each other. I was so busy thinking Hanako was the one with something wrong, it took her to remind me that I was uneasy as well. But be that as it may, it still feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that in her own way. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill and into the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves between the two dormitories. Regular night patrols pass between the male and female dormitory buildings, both for security and to quickly raise the alarm for any medical issues that may arise. The guard currently on duty notices us and gives a quick nod as he continues on his way. A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she has a chance to cover it. I have little doubt she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room then. See you tomorrow, Hanako. Good night. We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there, waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds, she turns and walks up the stairs to her dormitory building, disappearing through the door. These little moments we share between us feel like a small treasure. One thing is sure, I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around so few people. I wonder about these feelings I have when Hanako's around, and when I'm able to do things for her. Whether they may be the seed for something beyond what we shared now. The summertime sun is something to be savored, but when combined with the clean country air, it's all the better. The track and field club members are horsing around on the field ahead. Some are playing with a soccer ball, others are talking, and a few laugh as two of them mock fight with each other. None of them pay me any heed as I sit alone on the grass, underneath the shade of a particularly large tree. It's a nice and peaceful moment after a dreary day of schoolwork. Great footsteps, that startled me. I played soccer pretty often before my heart attack, so I had thought it would be really nostalgic to watch them. What I'm feeling now, though, is quite distinct from that emotion. God, I was not expecting footsteps, much less real-sounding footsteps. That made me freeze. I was like, who's walking? It's the game. I hear footsteps approaching from behind me and I turn to my side to see one of my classmates taking a seat beside me. I'm taken off guard, as the two of us haven't talked much before, and I didn't think anyone would notice me here. Sup? Hi? Miura, wasn't it? Just call me Miki. Surnames are too stuffy. Likewise, then. We both look back out to the field where the guys are playing. It looks like they're getting ready to have a second game with people spreading out to their positions and the ball being carried to the center of the field. Sure enough, the whistle is blown to begin the match and they get right back into it. Not going to play? Nah, just gonna rest for a bit. What about you? You kinda looked like you wanted to play when you were watching us before. So someone did notice me after all. It's kind of a long story. Her face says that I've piqued her interest. I'm in Yamaku because I've got a heart condition. I can't really play soccer anymore. Wanted to be a soccer player, did you? No, I only really did it for fun. My friends played it, so I played it as well. Any of those guys playing around could have been me before my accident, but I don't feel like I have any real wish to go back to that either. It's a little hard to explain. I'm still decently physically built from the days when I played, even if my strength's largely left me by now. And I got on well with the other club members. When I think about it, I should feel pretty bad watching people play when I can't anymore. Yet I don't. Maybe it's a good thing. A sign that I've gotten over it and that I'm ready to become a new person. Sorry, I'm kinda rambling. It's cool. I'm actually glad to hear that. It sounds like you really have your stuff together. Some of the people that come to Yamaku are pretty messed up at first. So you're a member of the track and field club then? Yep. Been in it since I first arrived. Don't suppose you're friends with Emmy? Short, fast runner, no legs? I don't think there are all that many female track and field members. Haha, Emmy. Everyone knows about her, don't they? But nah. I tend to get on better with guys, so me and Emmy don't really talk much. Anyway, what about you? Well, I'm not really in any clubs. Real clubs, anyway. You've been hanging around with Hanako and that blonde Amazon, though, right? I suppose that's technically accurate. She's not really muscular like an Amazonian, but she's tall. How tall is she anyway? I'm gonna look it up. I'm sure something somewhere says how tall she is. Uh... Do, 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 ba, da, da. Do, ba, da, do. 171 centimeters. I gotta convert that, 'cause I don't know how to convert that off the top of my head. Centimeters to inches. Oh, she's 2 inches shorter than me. She is tall. Jeez. She is, in fact, quite tall. Blonde Amazon. I suppose Lily has the height to fit that description, if nothing else. I nod in response without making too fine a point of things. Then don't worry about it. As long as you got some friends, you don't need to join a club. A loud whistling from the field attracts our attention. One of the players is on the ground, clutching his leg, and the others stop play to jog up to him, leaving Miki grimacing. Ouch, that looks painful. That guy really has bad luck. As she continues to look out onto the field, I can't help being reminded of her own injuries. Her left arm, ending in a stump rather than a hand, has been bandaged up for the entire time I've been in Yamaku, and her injury doesn't seem that new. She turns to talk to me again and catches me looking. Both of us sit in awkward silence as she takes her bandaged arm and holds it in her lap with the other remaining hand. Sorry, I guess I'm still a bit... It's fine, really. Her tone is light, but neither of us says anything afterwards. Every disabled student here has their own way of dealing with their problems, and some finding their conditions troublesome is only natural. I'm included among them, after all. The injured guy from the soccer game manages to get onto his feet with some help and ends up hobbling off the field with one arm over the shoulder of another for support. Probably just pulled a muscle if he can still manage to walk. The whistle blows again and the game continues once more with one less man on the field. Hanging out with Hanako and that blonde girl, you keep some pretty strange company. How so? It's just that Hanako's kind of, I don't know, shy? No, it's not really that. It's just, she's got some issues, I think. I can't really put it in a nice way. Not that I don't think she's a nice person, though. She's perfectly nice. Just hard to deal with. It sounds like Miki, or at least some other people in the class, have tried to get closer to Hanako in the past, and that it didn't go well. I think her judgment is rather harsh, given that everyone, not just those in Yamaku, have their own issues. Then again, I haven't known Hanako for that long, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was some stuff I didn't know about. I'll just take it as it comes. She's a nice person, and I think that should be all that matters. Miki's eyes narrow a little and her smile spreads. You really like her, don't you? Miki certainly doesn't mince words. Well, of course we really like her. To be completely honest, yeah, I do. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell anyone. Hey, whoa, you can trust me, no problems there. To be honest, I think it's kind of cute. If you want to go for it, don't let me stop you. Howdy, howdy, Hanako. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great Monday. Thanks. She may say that, but she was just talking about Hanako having issues. Still, I want to hold myself to the words I said. Hanako's problems don't matter. I'll deal with anything that comes up because I want to help her. If there's even the smallest possibility that I can pull Hanako out of her depression and seclusion, then I should work towards that no matter what. If she needs a prince, then I will be that prince. Oh boy. Also ads. Yeah, let's go to BRB while ad break runs so we don't miss out on anything. Boppin'.
don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap, gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap, gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap, gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life?
Welcome back from ads, and hello, Mero. Welcome. As I think about the possibility of a relationship, I can see Miki grinning at me while watching my face. I'm no doubt blushing, and looking away from her only makes her laugh. Miki gives off a different vibe from the other girls. Talking to her feels more like talking to a guy than a woman. Her saying she prefers male company doesn't help to dispel that notion either. Yep, nobody likes ads. But Twitch makes me run ads. Glancing at my watch shows that lunch break is ending in only a few minutes. Time to start heading back to class. Lunch is about to end. Want to head back? Yeah, we'd better. I pick myself up off the grass and dust myself off, offering a hand to Miki to help her up as well. She takes it and easily pulls herself up, showing the muscles moving in her toned, bare arms in the process. Come to think of it, why aren't you wearing the normal girl's blouse? It's too hot and constricting. The boy's uniform is better anyway. She throws her arms around a bit to emphasize her point, which has the side effect of showing off one particular part of her body that would be especially constricted by the blouse. The two of us start the walk back to the main building through the gardens, talking as we go. It sounds like you're settling in well. That's a relief. It was pretty surprising to get a transfer student at this point in the year, considering the exams are coming up. Don't remind me. Don't worry about them. Just cram it and you'll be fine. That doesn't sound like good advice. She claps my shoulder a couple of times as she grins. I don't think she takes school very seriously. You seem like a smart guy, and Muto's taken to you well already. You're like a hand in a glove. Now to work out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I still don't know what to make of this school. I've been here a few weeks already, but I still feel dazed at times. You'll get used to it. Just give it some time. It's only a high school like any other. She makes it sound so simple, but I've never thought about it that way. To me, Yamaku symbolized a marked shift in my life. I was no longer normal. I was different, and was to be educated with other different people. And yet, I'm walking back to class and talking casually with a classmate during lunch after watching some others play a soccer game. All perfectly normal. Maybe she has a point. Maybe I should just look at Hanako the same way. Everyone has their own issues. This is hardly something unique to Yamaku. After all, it's only a high school, just like any other. As we continue to talk, I find myself smiling. Miki and I are very different people. In almost every way, but it feels good to have gotten to know another classmate a bit better. Ooh, that was a very quick scene. So this is what, scene 3 of this act? Yep, 3 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 of 10 scenes. A light breeze blows the scent of early summer around my head while I wait for Lily. Small white clouds litter the sky, breaking up the monotony of the blue. Hisao, are you here? Lily's voice floats on the breeze as if they were one and the same thing. I stop gazing into the sky to examine Lily. With a peach off-the-shoulder sweater and tan ankle-length skirt, in addition to tan sandals, she's quite a nice sight. Yeah, I'm over here, Lily, near the gate. Were you able to sneak away from Hanako? Yes. It's not uncommon for me to go out during weekends, so I don't think she noticed anything suspicious. That, and she has someone she sees. Lily purses her lips as if she maybe shouldn't have continued. I find it a little hard to believe. Hanako's seeing someone? Really? No, it's just... she sees a therapist every so often on weekends. Oh, well, that does make a lot of sense. Lily rubs her arm uncomfortably, and after one look at her troubled expression, I quickly move to change the topic away from Hanako. Huh. Yes? I was just wondering, you can get around the city on your own? Lily sighs at my consternation surrounding the topic of her blindness. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. Huh. Captions aren't captioning correctly. Nope, now they're captioning correctly. I can, yes. It's easier when I'm out with a friend or my sister, though. I wonder how Lily gets along with her sister. Being an only child, it's hard to imagine what having a sibling would be like, so it makes me a little envious of her. Right. Well then, the bus arrives in a few minutes, so we should probably get a move on. Indeed. It's a long wait if we miss this one. With that, we set off for the bus stop on the hill. It's only a small distance from the school gate, so it's very convenient. It's a nice view from here. Coming from the city, I never really got to see scenery like this, let alone on a daily basis. This area is nice for me as well. It's tranquil, and away from the noises and smells of the city. Lily's head perks up in a trademark gesture of hers, signifying that she's caught a sound. Oh, here comes the bus. And look down the road to see the bus trundling up the hill. Your hearing's quite a useful tool. Or you don't see people use the word trundling a lot these days. The bus only takes a short while to reach the bus stop, forcing its way up the road, and within a minute we are on our way to the city. Walking around the city, I feel a distinct nostalgia. The smells, the traffic, the tall buildings everywhere. It's a lot like my native city, save for the raised walkways. It feels a little weird walking around a city as casually as I would in a park, but with cars rushing around underneath me. As I'm busily pondering the engineering marvel that is the raised walkway, I get a surprise. It takes me a moment for me to realize that Lily has wrapped her arm around mine, extending her cane in front of her with her other hand. For a moment, I'm startled, but I manage to keep enough of a lid on it for Lily not to notice. While it's not the first time that Lily's relied on me for guidance, she'd only held onto my sleeve's cuff before. It's logical that it would be easier for her to navigate a crowded and complex area such as the city while securely linked, but I'm far from being as used to this kind of contact as Lily is. Finally realizing the growing silence between us as Lily waits for me to get moving, I quickly kick my brain into gear. You know, it was quite a surprise that Hanako likes to sing. Have you ever heard her do that before? I have indeed. We've been to karaoke sessions several times along with my sister. I can't say I take to the activity much, but the other two like it. Maybe Hanako doing karaoke is more fitting than I initially thought. Just her and those she knows all alone in a little room. It would give her a rare chance to let her guard down. There's nobody else there to judge her. Maybe it would be nice to bring her into town for a karaoke birthday party if she likes doing it. I'm not sure she would deal very well with the excitement. I move to protest, but her face shows that she's mulling the proposal over some more. It takes quite some time for her to come to a conclusion. Then again, the best thing we can do for Hanako at this point is to try to create some pleasant birthday memories. Continually treating her as if she's abnormal won't help. I think you're right. If she has something to remember apart from loss, then maybe she'll come around. God, my brain just wants to the stupid loss meme. And I hate it. If we bought her something nice that she could see every day, then maybe she'd be able to take her mind off her past and remember that she has friends. And in any case, I think Hanako can handle something like this. In the time I've spent beside her, I've learned that she isn't quite as frightfully fragile as I thought she was. So, shall we be off? I'm not really sure about the layout of this area. Very well. I might like to suggest having something to eat first. I haven't either, so that sounds like a good plan. Make sure you choose a nice place, Hisao. She gives a teasing smile, one that makes me smile reflexively in response even if she can't see that. I'll make very sure I do, don't worry about that. Once inside, I order 2 slices of pie and accompanying cups of tea and take them back to our table. I'd pegged this cafe as the type to appeal to Lily, small and quiet, but well kept and somewhat upscale. Going by the dainty smile she wears, I don't really know if I chose right. It's very, very rare to not see her smiling, after all. Nevertheless, I take a seat near her at one of the corner tables and lay down our small meals. Lily gingerly brings her head over to the slice of pie placed in front of her, delicately taking in the aroma. Lemon pie, is it? Thank you, Hisao. No problem. The tea's just next to it, so be careful not to knock it over. She nods appreciatively, but judging from the slightly weak smile she has, the warning wasn't really necessary. I suppose the sound must have tipped her off to its position. We both tuck into our food without further ado, both of us remaining largely silent as we do so. Lily isn't the type to appreciate discussion while eating, and I can't say I like it either. Eventually, we finish both our meals, and the last of our teacups follows in short order. Lily's the first to break the silence. That was very nice. I must say, you've chosen quite well, Hisao. This is the first time I've really had much of a look around the city, so all I could really do was choose somewhere that looked nice. Damn. Sorry. I feel really bad for inadvertently bringing up the subject of sight around Lily, but she doesn't appear to mind much. Quite the opposite. She almost looks amused by my awkward attempt at an apology. You're thoughtful, Hisao, but sometimes I fear that it gets the better of you. There is no need to change your speech on my account. Lily truly is pretty comfortable in dealing with her condition. I still hasten to change the subject, as I can't really say that I share her confidence in the matter. Have you lived here for very long? It seems like you have this place pretty much sorted out. She quickly waves her hand in front of her face to dismiss the notion. It's nothing like that. I've attended Yamaku since the start of high school, but I didn't walk around the city very much because Akira, my sister, picked me up and dropped me off. Oh, right. You mentioned not living in the dormitories until recently. It's quite a surprise. I'd just assumed she'd been living here since entering Yamaku at the least, which would give her a few years here. I've lived with my family for most of my life, then I was just together with my sister. With my family having moved to Inverness long before, and Akira working longer hours, I ended up having to move. Inverness? Isn't that somewhere in Scotland? Oh, did I not tell you? My family currently lives in Scotland, the birthplace of my mother. My father's side is mainly Japanese, though. Huh. The question of what gave Lily her looks did cross my mind every now and again, but I'd never thought to ask. That answers that then. To be honest, I'd never have guessed. Considering you have no accent, I'm guessing you were born here? Full remarks. I am thankful for my heritage, though, as without it, I'd likely have not been taught English so early in my life. And what of you, Hisao? What about me? She gives a moment's thought. She probably should have thought of what to ask me before switching the topic. I'll go with... What are your plans for the future? To be honest, I haven't thought much about that recently. After my accident and the subsequent months in the hospital, enjoying my life here with you and Hanako has been enough for me. In fact, I don't think I've thought at all about a future for some time now. It seems almost futile. This is your last year of school. After this, you will have to fend for yourself one way or the other. It's not like I don't know that, I just haven't put much thought into it since then. She opens her mouth to continue, but gives a small sigh instead. She seems to have realized that she really doesn't know enough about my situation to go too deeply into this. Well, we all have our own pace. I just hope you'll take any chance you see. I understand. I'll think about it. As we walk back out into the city, Lily takes hold of my arm once again. So, did you get any good ideas for a present? To be honest, no. I've never been very good at picking them. As absurd as it sounds, perhaps we should just look around? Hearing Lily utter those words throws me for a moment. Right. How do we do that? That's just the reaction I was expecting. It's simple. You can go window shopping and just tell me what is around. If something interesting comes up, then we might get an idea. Right. I'm still not so sure of this, but I'll take your word for it. I think we'll manage. Hanako, my sister, and I managed to do it well enough. With Lily's simplistic and rather optimistic statement, we set off into the shopping district of the city and I start describing everything I see to Lily. It's hard to think of Hanako going window shopping. She doesn't feel like the type to place much stock in fashion, nor have I noticed her reading magazines or the like. In fact, all I think I've really seen her do as a hobby is read books. There's a housewares shop just ahead. Looks like it's mostly crockery, though. I can't think of that she'd have much of a need for that. And what type of message would that send to her? Cook more food? That's not such a bad idea, maybe. Sometimes it's best to leave these things alone, Hisao. Yeah... Probably a good idea, honestly. Once again, I get the feeling that Hanako's exploits in the kitchen aren't always successful. Lily must have had to help her with that sometimes. Let's see, next along is a bookshop. That seems like a good one. She's always reading. Yes, but there are a few problems with books. I'm not quite sure what she has and hasn't read. What about a gift card then? There's nothing as impersonal as giving someone a gift card. It's like saying, I don't know enough about you to work out what you'd like. I always thought of it as making sure they got what they wanted. Giving people gifts is supposed to show them the level of affection you have for them. If you can't decide on a simple gift for them, then how much could you think of them? Right? Right? No gift cards. Yeah, gift cards are impersonal. Extremely. Lily seems overly passionate about this, but I can see her point. If you're going to get something for someone, then you should put at least some thought into it. If I want to get something for Hanako that reminds her of us every day, then what good is a gift card? In that case, what did you get Hanako last year? A porcelain doll. I thought that if she had someone to talk to, it might help her ease her pain. A doll isn't ever going to criticize her after all. So should I be looking for a doll shop? If she could be so kind to keep a lookout for one, I would be grateful. Sounds good to me, though I wish you'd mentioned it earlier. But if I did that, then you wouldn't have started thinking for yourself, would you? Once again, Lily has a point. My brain is currently analyzing every store we passed for gift options. If Lily had mentioned a doll shop to begin with, I wouldn't have thought of anything else. We wander through the city streets, but seem unable to find anything that resembles a doll shop, or anything that I could consider a fitting present. The simple act of searching is starting to clear my head. The events of last week are starting to fade away, and I'm looking forward to giving Hanako her gift. If I can find one, that is. This is hopeless. I thought we'd be able to find something in the city for sure, and I'm sure we've walked down this street at least once before. That almost sounds like you're giving up, Hisao. I'm not, but it's a lot harder than I thought. Try not to be so restricted in your thinking. Maybe we should actually go into some shops and have a look around. That might work. I've never really been any good at window shopping. Lily and I circle around the city streets once more, this time popping into stores that catch our attention. In the end, though, nothing comes up as especially appropriate. Hanako's tastes are often quite hard to pin down at the best of times, thanks to her intensely private nature, and those tastes we do know are hard to accommodate. May we take a break for a minute? I'm a bit exhausted. I agree, and leave Lily to rest against a railing while I go to get a couple of drinks from a nearby vending machine. After walking up to the vending machine and grabbing myself some lemonade, I find myself at a bit of a loss. Not really knowing Lily's tastes, I decide to take a guess and grab something that seems a little girly but not too weird. Strawberry flavored milk. The king of milk flavors. Back. I walk up to her and place the carton into her outstretched hand, making sure she has a grip on it before letting go. She feels out its contours before opening it, taking a very tentative sip. Her approving smile afterwards telling me I made the right choice. We both rest and have a quiet drink for a few minutes. A familiar soft ringing begins to sound from Lily's side. She quickly apologizes as her hand goes into her pocket, pulling out her mobile phone. Do you mind if I take this? It's fine, don't worry. She nods to me in thanks before turning away and flipping the phone open, bringing it to the side of her face as she picks up the call. Going by the tone of Lily's voice, the person on the other end is no doubt some friend or another. I tune out of their conversation pretty quickly, as the snippets that Lily says make it sound like a little more than gossip. Without much else to do, I find myself watching Lily. She really is a pretty girl, which would hardly hurt her popularity in school. It's interesting just how much Hanako and Lily contrast with each other, in both personality and appearance. For a few minutes, I just lean back and drink, watching her. Before long, Lily says her goodbyes to the person she's talking to and hangs up, placing her phone back in her pocket and leaning back against the railing as before. Sorry, just a friend from class. I take one final swig from my can before throwing it into the bin. Lily gives me her carton to throw away soon after, finishing it off relatively quickly. You seem to have a lot of friends. Oh? Lily waits for me to continue, her interest piqued. I was just thinking that you and Hanako contrast really heavily. It's hard to imagine Hanako doing a lot of the things you do, or knowing the people you know. You seem to think about Hanako quite a bit. I don't know, it's just... she's mysterious, I guess. I kinda want to know more about her, which isn't that easy. It almost sounds like you're doubting your relationship to her. I don't think it's that. I just want to do more for her, being her friend and all. I don't even really know how she sees me. This statement seems to interest Lily quite a bit. I wonder if Hanako said anything about me to Lily during their conversations. I'm about to ask what's on her mind as she picks herself up from the railing. Shall we be off then? Her voice and expression show that she's playing games with me. Lily knows damn well that she's leaving me hanging. With a sigh, I pick myself up off the railing as well and have a brief look around. We have stuff to do, so I'll just try and get back to her about this later. Tucked in between a newsstand and a convenience store is a small shop. The sign above the door reads Othello's Antiques in decorative English script. It would be easy to miss if we were walking along the street, but since we're stationary and I'm purposefully looking around, it's just noticeable. Say, Lily, that doll you got, Hanako, was it new? Well, yes, but I'm not quite sure I know what you mean. I think I found our shop. It's across the road. Oh? What is it? Some kind of toy shop? It's an antique shop. I think it's probably going to be our best bet. Really? I didn't know we even had one of those near here. Neither did I. I missed it the first time we went by here. It's pretty well hidden. Well then, it can't hurt to check. Inspired by this new find, we quickly dust ourselves off and head towards the store, Lily's hand finding its way to my elbow for guidance. The store has a strange, musky scent to it. The layout is more like a garage than a store. Things are strewn around the floor without any immediate semblance of order. The shopkeeper gives us an almost bored look through his particularly small eyes. His face looks weary and tired, and his dress style is distinctly anachronistic. He gives us a polite nod of welcome before going back to his book. Lily holds tightly onto my arm, and I find myself having to split my efforts between making sure we don't miss a potential gift for Hanako, and making sure Lily doesn't inadvertently bump into anything. The task is quite difficult, given the haphazard way the store is laid out, and the many things poking out of the shelves they're on or sitting on pieces of furniture. But eventually, we safely arrive at an old desk covered in dolls and teddy bears. I think this is the right place. There's pretty much every kind of doll you can imagine here. That should make the choice much simpler. Could you please pick one for me, Hisao? I had a feeling that it would come to this. I picture Hanako in my mind and try to imagine which of the dolls before me would suit her the best. My eyes wander across the collection. Each one is as exquisite as the one before it. The sheer number of styles is boggling, but eventually one catches my eye. Here, what about this one? I pick up a small porcelain doll that looks to be at least somewhat affordable. Dressed in a Victorian-era green dress with a little brown hat sitting atop its blonde hair, it looks a little like Lily. I gently pass it to her, who delicately feels her way around the object while wearing a look of slight concentration. It certainly feels beautiful. Do you think it would suit Hanako, in your opinion? I think it would. It could look good in her room. In that case, I'll trust your judgment. Will you be getting her something as well, or shall this be a shared gift? I'm not sure. I think I should get her something myself, but I don't think getting her another doll is such a great idea. Maybe... I let my voice trail off as I look around the shop. Resting on a writing table not far from us is a decorative box that catches my eye. Wait here, I think I found something. My, that was fast. I gingerly walk through a collection of crystal glassware and pick up the box. The wooden sides are covered in carvings depicting ancient battles around a castle. The top, however, looks far too familiar. Alternating squares of black and white varnished wood. Alternating squares of white and black varnished wood are arranged on the lid. That's a really nice item. It's a chess set from overseas. The store owner's appearance startles me a little. I didn't see him approaching at all. I suppose he's trying to help us because we don't really look like we know what we're looking for. Or on the other hand, maybe he wants to keep an eye on us because he suspects we might shoplift instead. I'm looking for a present for a friend. I see. In that case, this chess set would make a fine choice. Realization floods into my mind. This is a pretty good looking set, but this is an antique shop. They're not well known for their bargain prices. How old is this? This is a reproduction. My best estimate is that it's about 5 years old. I see. How much? He thinks a little before telling me, which is slightly disconcerting. I'll let you take this now for 7,000 yen. I balk a little. I wasn't expecting to spend that much, but this does seem perfect. And again, maybe that's a testament to how well he worked out how much he could make me pay. Couldn't make it 5,000? 5,500, no lower. I'm sold. Oh, we'd also like to get that doll. God, I'm gonna check how much that price is in current day money. Yen to American dollar reduce. Not even $35. That's actually not a terrible price for a nice chess set. The store owner looks over my shoulder, focusing on Lily and the doll in her hand. His eyes narrow, and he visibly takes a moment to switch mental gears. In the process, his smile drops slightly. I guess that means not everything in his store is a reproduction. Are you quite sure that you want that doll, miss? I trust my friend's judgment. I see. Oh, no offense. None taken. If you could please wrap it for me, it would be appreciated. Yes, of course, but it is 20,000 yen. That's a lot more than what his house paying. Well, I'm gonna have to convert that now. Bop. $125 for a doll? I could never. Lily reaches into her purse and presents 4 crisp-looking 5,000 yen notes. Here you are, 20,000 yen. The storekeep dutifully takes them and the doll and proceeds to the counter. I take Lily's arm to guide her there. Are you sure about this? It's okay. I have the funds I need. As I said, I trust your judgment. I feel a little guilty on 2 fronts. Firstly, because Lily has just spent a lot of money on my recommendation, and secondly, because I have a feeling the value of my gift isn't high enough. Nevertheless, Lily does seem to get somewhat awkward whenever the mention of money comes about. I hand the shopkeeper my present and the money for it in turn. He puts the cash into the register before busying himself with wrapping the doll and repeating the process on the chessboard. Eventually, he finishes the gift wrapping and hands us both our presents. Please be careful on your way back, and do come again. Thanks. Indeed, thank you very much. The store owner bows deeply to us as we leave. Well, it did take us all day, but we found something in the end. That we did. Now that the presents are wrapped, I'm feeling a little impatient to give them to Hanako. It's a common reaction to buying gifts, wanting to see the reaction of the receiver as they discover what it is. And part of me wants to return to Hanako just to confirm her condition with my own eyes. So, should we head back? We've done a lot of walking today, so I shan't mind taking a rest back at the dormitories. Lily's right. Now that the need to find a shop is over, my legs are feeling quite tired. Well then, back to the school for us. I'm looking forward to resting for a bit, too. Lily holds out her arm and I link mine with hers. Together, we make our way back to the bus stop. Muto reads equations and formulas to us one by one in his usual unenthusiastic monotone, directly from the book. It's possible that he might be excited about what he teaches us. Sometimes he can display an awkward spark or passion for it, as if he's starting to get into the material. Most days, however, are like this one. But recovering is fairly simple, so I find it increasingly difficult to keep my concentration on him. It's not too long until my legs begin aching again, which only makes it even harder. I'm almost starting to regret walking around the city yesterday with Lily. Since leaving the hospital, I've done very little physical exertion. Walking to and from the local corner store hardly counts. Despite Emi's attempts when I first arrived in Yamaku, I've largely given up on the idea of ever returning to my old level of fitness. I have little doubt that's why walking around town for so many hours has made me quite so sore. It's depressing, and it reminds me of one more thing I can't do since I had my heart attack. It makes me feel pathetic. Now, Ikezawa? It's odd for Muto to ask Hanako a question, but not unheard of. She quickly jumps to her feet, a little startled, and immediately pins her eyes onto him. She knows that Muto calling on her is rare, so all eyes in the classroom are going to be on her. This way, she doesn't run the risk of making eye contact with anyone else. Yes? In this particular example of In this particular example of a redox reaction, the combustion of methane reaction actually produces one more product than is listed. That product is... Oh god, I don't even know. Psst. Oh god. This makes me feel stupid. Softball question, you say, I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know chemistry. Even though it's a softball question, she timidly waits a bit before answering, biting down slightly on her lower lip as if to keep her concentration. Heat? Well done. This is an exothermic reaction, with the reaction giving more heat than is put into it. Receiving a nod from Muto, Hanako takes her seat once again and gives a relieved sigh. A shaky start, but it's something. It'll be nice to take her out for her birthday, somewhere different from the usual isolation of her room and the tea room. With the progress she's made until now, I don't think she'll have much of a problem going to the city. Right then. For the remainder of this class, I'd like you to work in groups of 3 or 4 on the problems in Chapter 12. I'll be here if you need me. Oh, I know what happens. Oh boy, I know what happens in this scene. I'm gonna put on my pained expression immediately. Because I know exactly what happens. Muto sits down behind his desk, pulls some loose sheets out of a folder and starts on some kind of paperwork of his own. I thought teachers were supposed to do that kind of thing after class, not during it. Regardless, I look to my right to pick out someone to form a group with. Given the 2 smiling faces hovering near mine, I don't think I'm going to get much say in the matter. Hello, you 2. I suppose we have a group then. Hichan, you want to work together? Okay. That's great. It's really been a while. Class begins the process of noisily shuffling the desks around, with Shizune doing the same as she puts hers in front of mine. She's a little lucky to not be able to hear the din of the classroom, which is loud enough to cause some discomfort. Truth be told, working with Shizune and Misha is probably a good outcome. Shizune and I are pretty good at this subject, and Misha has really nice handwriting. As I look to Misha, I notice a tall figure behind her. The shadow catches Misha's attention as well, and she turns to face the dark-haired observer. Good afternoon, Hanako. Hello? Shizune finally notices Hanako after looking up and following the gazes of Misha and I. In quick measure, she taps Misha on the shoulder to get her attention before signing away. Shi-chan says, if you're looking for a group, you can join ours. Hanako looks down and blushes a little at the offer. Out of all the people in the class, Hanako is most familiar with the 3 of us, so it's reasonable that she'd come to us first. Then again, her actually coming up to a group with the intention of joining them is something she apparently very rarely did before. She leaves briefly to drag her desk over, and Shizune and Misha will wheel back to me as soon as Rebecca's turn. I guess we get to play again, Hichan. You hardly ever play with us anymore. I wonder why. You 2 always seem to have some ulterior motive. That hurt, Hichan. I'd almost think you're insulting me. But it's Hichan, so I know that you're joking. Such a great sense of humor about it. It'd be awful if someone were to take advantage of your good nature, like making you help them with their work. Shizune seems excited for a second, a little surprised that I'm willing to challenge her. But when she sees Hanako coming back, she backs off with a smile. I guess the mind games are over early today. Hanako gently sets down her desk in front of Misha's. Her eyes are locked downwards, and I'm left wondering why until I look around the class. Most are busy setting up their own groups, but a few are casting curious glances at her. At this range, it's hard to tell whether that is where their interest in her ends or if they are talking about her as well. It's strange. No one bats an eyelid when Hanako runs out of class to avoid group work, and after she's making an effort, they're staring at her because they're staring at her as if she's done something wrong. We all move to sort ourselves out, spreading our textbooks and worksheets around the larger surface created by the 4 joined desks. It isn't long before the class as a whole gets down to work. For a second, I was going to read that as before the class gets down to business to defeat the Huns. And I quickly realized that is not what that said. This is not Mulan. Hi, Hanako. It's nice to finally work with you. Yeah? Are you the reason Hee-chan has been avoiding us lately? Shi-chan says it's a little rude, but if Hee-chan wants to spend time with a cute girl, it's understandable. I don't think it's like that. Hanako starts to fidget, unused to this kind of attention. I think that an ordinary person would drop the conversation by now, but Misha is like the antithesis of Hanako. I probably butchered that word wrong. Antithesis? Okay, I think that's how it is. Part of that includes being blind to ordinary social cues, while Hanako is overly sensitive to them. Because of that, Misha barrels ahead with the questions too quickly for me to get a chance to interject and guide the discussion somewhere more comfortable. Really? So, he wasn't hanging out with you yesterday? No. I can feel my cover being blown already. Lily didn't want Hanako to know that we were out buying presents for her, let alone planning out her birthday party. It wouldn't be good for her to find out. Yeah, I was doing something else. You know how it is. Really? I wonder what was so important for Hee-chan to blow us off like that. If it wasn't to spend time with Hanako, then what could it be? It's really interesting. Now this is starting to feel like an interrogation. I'm surprised at how Misha is able to exert such a feeling of pressure without actually intending to. Were you with Lily? Out of nowhere, Hanako manages to stumble on the answer. She may be dreadfully quiet and shy, but she's very intuitive. What makes you say that? Yesterday, Lily said something similar. Oh, don't give me that look, you little shit. Don't give me that look, you smug little shit. Suspicious. Hee-chan, I demand that you explain yourself. Hey, shouldn't we be doing the assignment? But it's so mysterious. Even Hanako wants to know. I turned to look at Hanako. It's true. From the expression on her face, it's obvious that she wants to know as well, and I think we're past the point of where I could weasel out of having to provide an explanation. I apologize to Lily in my mind. Yeah, Shizune really did just say :3. I apologize to Lily in my mind. She really did want to keep it a secret, but now it doesn't seem possible anymore. I feel a rush of conflicting emotions, so jumbled that I can't readily identify them, but they crash around in my head as I try to calm down and speak. Alright, I'll tell you. I went into town with Lily, but it wasn't what you think. Lily and I were, for Hanako's birthday, the cat is out of the bag, but it looks like Hanako is taking it a little better than I thought she would. A brief silence passes around our little group as Shizune and Misha look at each other sheepishly. I can tell that they didn't expect their game to turn out like this. Misha looks up to Hanako in order to apologize, then pauses. Hanako is staring at the middle of her desk and barely moving, a maudlin expression on her face. I guess I was wrong about her taking it well. Hanako? I'm sorry. There's a few seconds pause, but Hanako lifts and shakes her head. It's... okay. Her expression looks odd, like she's very tired. That doesn't seem natural, but it's nothing alarming. Nobody really wants to continue with the current conversation, so we open our textbooks and begin our group work. This is pretty dull. While the equations we're supposed to work out as a group will take a while, Most of it is going to be boringly mechanical. Oh boy, this song. It also doesn't help that while that didn't go as bad as it could have, it has left an awkward atmosphere around us. Still, we manage. Shizune's face betrays that she has about the same expectations of her work as I do, and the two of us begin to write our group's results. Misha, on the other hand, is scrunching up her lips and very visibly trying to make heads or tails of what we're doing. Hanako is looking on quietly, absorbing what we write and what I say. She usually has the same expression when the teacher speaks. It's a shame her attendance is so unreliable. With the way she takes in information, I think she'd do quite well in class if she actually followed the lessons regularly. I wonder if this might be why Shizune seems so hard on her. Hey, Hanako, do you understand this? Misha looks to Hanako, but I suspect her hope is more to find a comrade in ignorance rather than genuine help. I am positive this is the what I learned in boating school scene. I am almost positive. Not really, guess. I'm surprised by how tense she is in answering, but she settles back down. She breathes out, and the way her upper body and head lower reminds me of a deflating balloon. You okay? I could go over this bit if you want. Hanako shakes her head slightly, but then again, I don't think she needs the extra explanation despite what she said. Misha quickly interjects, entirely oblivious, and I end up slowly going through how we ended up at one of our results step by step. Times like this remind me that this kind of work may not be mechanical for everyone, but rather feels that way to me due to my grasp of the subject. It's a satisfying feeling. As Misha brings her balled fist onto an open hand in realization, I discover another nice feeling. My explanation got through to her, and she manages to work out the next equation by herself with a minimum of guidance. Throughout all of this, Hanako is unusually unresponsive. She's normally very quiet, but one can still see her eyes roving periodically over the landscape of the classroom in front of her, or anxiously moving her hands in some way, or shifting her shoulders periodically. Right now, these small movements that I've gotten used to seeing are all missing. Someone not moving at all is definitely weird. Even Misha can tell there's something wrong. Hanako, are you sure you're okay? Yes. Are you sure? I'm fine. A little more strongly this time, but she turns away as she says it. It only makes me doubt her answer, yet at the same time, I can tell she doesn't want to talk about it further. Having already had one very awkward conversation today that I'm still not fully over, I don't want to pursue the matter too much either. We settle back into our routine, debating over our answers whenever a doubt comes up, but as time goes on, I notice that Hanako isn't talking at all. It's frustrating. She had made so much progress. It makes me a little angry at Shizune and Misha for undoing the surprise Lily had wanted to keep secret so much. I know I'm at fault too. Maybe I could have kept it under wraps somehow. Shizune has noticed Hanako's silence as well, and is also getting antsy. I can see it on her face. It's strange that even though she's deaf, Shizune has perceived Hanako's unusual quietness sooner than Misha. Hanako, you're being too quiet. You have to contribute too. Someday we might work on a bigger project, like one that's so big it's worth celebrating afterward, like with ice cream or cake. If you act like this, we won't take you along. Oh, let's pause for a little while ad break runs. And then we return to boating school.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap gay. Frogs friggin' real slow for you. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like the frogs. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like the frogs. Gay. Friggin' frogs.
I can tell that they're trying to tease her, to bring her out of her shell, but I don't think that that kind of approach will work on Hanako. It will just make her feel worse. Guys, don't tease her like that. Shi-chan, it's all in good fun. Shi-chan says she teases everyone anyway. They do back off though, with Misha moving away from the issue by asking me a question again. On seeing how difficult the problem she is working on is, I don't know whether it was a skillful dodge or mere coincidence. It takes way more of our time than necessary, because Shizune keeps disagreeing with me while I'm trying to explain it to Misha, and Misha is quick to believe her over me. So quick, in fact, that she forgets to translate what Shizune is saying. Hey, the clock's kind of ticking down. We should speed up a little. Shi-chan, you sound a little like Shi-chan there. Just because I looked at my watch? Jeez, is that really all it takes? Time management and suddenly I'm the student council president? I look at Hanako's desk to see how she's doing, and freeze. Her papers are covered in equations. God fucking damn it. Blankety, blankety, blank. That's really fucking funny. I look at Hanako's desk to see how she's doing and freeze. Our papers are covered in equations, but Hanako's only halfway there. It seems like she hasn't written anything in the past 20 minutes. When I realize that, I want to kick myself for how dumb I've been. I should have known that someone as fragile as Hanako wasn't just going to brush off what happened so easily, but I've been too eager to move on from an awkward situation to notice. She has been slowly shutting down for the last half hour and I had no clue. Her pen is still in her hand, but she doesn't slowly spin it around like she usually does. There isn't a single idle movement from Hanako. Only the fact that she tries to inch away when she feels Shizune, Misha, and me looking at her tells me that she is even still conscious. We look away, and at least in my case, it's partly out of shame that it's gotten to this point. Though on the outside she has shut down almost completely, I know that it's a different story on the inside. What kinds of things could she be thinking about as she tries harder and harder to shrink into herself, as if by willing it she could somehow disappear? Everyone is looking at her now, stealing quick glances in between putting the finishing touches on their work. Misha attempts to ask her what's wrong, but that only makes the problem worse. If she weren't frozen to her seat, she would probably run out of the room right now. Misha's questions are loud enough to be heard throughout the entire classroom, and for a second, I'm ready to snap at her, because I can only imagine how much worse it's making Hanako feel. Of course, if I were to do that, it would only make the situation worse. I'd believed that Hanako had gotten stronger, and she has, but it wasn't enough, and I was too eager to believe it. Now, she's terrified, alone in the middle of the classroom, and there's nothing I can do without drawing more attention to her. It's infuriating. Misha's worried, and even Shizune is biting her lip. None of us know how to deal with this situation, so I decide to call Muto. His judgment would probably be better than ours. I look up and manage to catch his eye, silently motioning for him to come over. I want to make as little a fuss about this as possible, since if there's anything that would make this worse, it's more attention being focused on her. I know that Hanako can see everyone staring at our group, specifically at her, because they know that if there's a problem, it has to be her. Everyone knows her, and it's the first thing anyone's mind would leap to. Her reputation for being a truant has marked her as an unusual person, even in unusual Yamaku. Who knows how many times they have stared at her before. Maybe it's because she's seen the class staring at her so much that she fears their gazes like she does, cowering from them. The time it takes Muto to walk over must be like an eternity to Hanako, and she looks as if she is about to fall over. Muto quietly begins to ask us what's wrong before catching himself as he sees Hanako. Did we upset her? Don't worry. Muto bends down after calming Misha and looks intently at Hanako's face. Hi, Ikazawa. Can I help you at all? His voice is hushed and gentle. Everyone's acting so differently around Hanako now that the whole class has noticed something's wrong with her. Hanako doesn't respond, so Muto gently rests a hand on her shoulder. She starts shaking at his touch, but won't even look up. A quick BRB chat.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs.
Sorry about that, had to take a phone call. She starts shaking at his touch, but won't even look up. Hanako continues to stare into the equations on her desk, vision so unfocused that I doubt she even sees them. She is worse than before. I remember that not even an hour ago she was able to talk to him almost normally. Muto grimaces a bit as he stands again, and now that his expression's changed, I can see he wasn't exactly unaffected by what happened either. He takes a breath to settle himself before speaking in a very quiet voice. I'm a little impressed at how quickly he takes control of the situation. Is that it? Nothing's wrong then? Muto seems to say that to no one in particular. However, his words sound convincing enough that most of the people who were looking over at Hanako now turn away, getting back to their work. He gives a quick glance to his left and right. Several people at the desks around us are still staring curiously, but other than that, we seem to have escaped attracting too much attention. Muto notices me doing the same as him and smiles a little in his usual stilted way. I think, for Ikazawa's sake, that it would be good to quickly take her somewhere away from others. Nakai, Hakamichi, could you please take Ikazawa out of the classroom? I'll keep everyone settled, so please don't worry about anything but her, okay? He looks at Misha to tell her to interpret his words for Shizune, but she's already finishing her translation by the time he does so. It's remarkable how little thought she needs to sign, as she still looks quite dazed otherwise. Nodding, Shizune and I stand and move to either side of Hanako. Muto steps back to allow us some room and talks to the table behind us as some people there have begun to mutter between themselves about what's going on. We look at each other before lowering ourselves in unison, taking one arm around each of our shoulders and lifting. The two of us begin to walk at a slow pace to make sure we don't inadvertently hurt her. As much as we try to make this look normal, I'm quite sure there would be many more gazes on us if not for Muto's distraction. Eventually, thankfully, we reach the door and go through. Nobody's outside, so we walk down the hallway. It doesn't seem like it's making her more at ease than she was in the classroom. Finally, I ask if she wants to just sit down. For a while, we simply stay in place and wait for her to say something. Shizune tentatively rubs Hanako's shoulder a little, but there's no response. Eventually, she shakes her head a little when Shizune tries again. Both of us are looking at her, so we pick up on it immediately. Shizune's hand again comes to rest on Hanako's shoulder as she awakens, her face lifting to two very worried and anxious people looking at her. She looks at us silently for a while. I'm initially worried she might freak out or do something extreme, but those fears prove unwarranted as her expression slowly changes from an almost lifeless blank stare to a more normal withdrawn shyness. She wordlessly lowers her head, her eyes evasively moving to the side. She looks embarrassed, almost ashamed. I want to say something, anything, to help. I can't, though. I don't really know what just happened, or even what caused it. I feel helpless and ashamed of myself for not being of any use. Shizune sighs before looking at me. Even without words, I could think I can tell what she's asking. I'll take Hanako to the nurse. Is that okay by you? I tried to communicate my intentions through hand gestures, but I don't feel like I managed to get through to her very well. Shizune makes a dreary face in response to my gesticulations, confirming my impression. She stabs her finger in the air decisively, first at me, then Hanako, and then towards the stairs. She waits for me to nod before pointing at herself and pointing at the door to the classroom. I get the feeling that Shizune is much better at this than I am. I nod at her, since her plan is, after all, the same as mine. Shizune gets ready to make her exit, but she only leaves after looking at Hanako for quite some time. Are you okay with me taking you to the nurse's office? Hanako doesn't say anything or nod, but she stands up in place by herself. and when I begin to walk, she obediently follows. I've read about people being catatonic before, but I think this time I'm seeing it for myself. He looks extremely tired. After everything that's happened, it's not a surprise. After Hanako silently takes off her shoes and lies on the bed in the infirmary, the nurse and I take our leave. Not this song again. He shuts the curtain behind us. We both take a seat and I quietly and thoroughly go through everything that happened in quite some detail. I want to understand what happened, and the nurse has as good a chance as anyone of knowing. He nods throughout my explanation, his face looking troubled as I finish. It must have been very troubling for you to have seen all this. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. I get that she fainted, but I don't really understand anything about why it happened or why she's acting like this. He nods, but his face is clouded. You don't know either? Well, yes and no. It's complicated. I assume you've heard about the concept of patient confidentiality at some point. This is a bit of a minefield in that respect. I'm going to put this pretty bluntly. This is a matter for Ikazawa, me, and her therapist. I move to protest, but I think better of it. I want to deny what he says, but if I think this through rationally, what he says makes perfect sense. Also, for those of you who don't know the song, Painful History. I understand. Good, good. I wish I could help you more, but I think what Ikizawa needs right now isn't somebody prying into her past or her emotions. She just needs somebody to be there for her. She needs a friend. For what it's worth, I think you've done well in bringing her here. Sounds like you and your friends dealt with the situation well too. I'd give you a lollipop or a sticker as a reward, but you might be a little too old for either. He gives a cocky grin, obviously trying his best to lighten the atmosphere. I'm not really in a laughing mood, but he does manage to get a smile out of me. Thanks. Do you mind if I stay here with Hanako? I appreciate the thought, but I think it would be better to let her rest for now. She'll be led back to her dormitory room this evening, so you could visit her then. I agree with him before standing. It feels like all I can ever do around the nurse is humbly agree to what he says, but it was the same with the doctors in the hospital too. The walk back to the classroom is a long one. My mind feeling heavy under the weight of so many things happening so suddenly. Even as I re-enter the classroom, I'm thinking about Hanako. My stomach feels like it's turning into knots while I think about how to deal with her. I still don't know what I'm going to say when I see her again. Thankfully, the class doesn't pay me much heed. There are a couple of questioning glances, but overall, not many people seem to be very aware of what happened. Muto raises his eyebrows to get my attention when I pass by his desk. Nakai. I take it Ikizawa is in the infirmary now? Yeah, I took her there and the nurse said I should let her rest. Muto nods, assuring me that I made the right call. He scratches his chin for a second before rising from his desk. Everyone, I want you to continue with the exercise. Nakai, I'll see you in the hallway, please. His speech is hushed, but overall he doesn't seem to be acting too differently from how he usually does. Being a teacher, maybe it's to be expected. As we go out into the hallway, I notice him taking a quick glance left and right to check if there are any students milling around. The hallway is nearly soundless, but I can't think of anything except waiting for Muto to speak. Nakai. What do you think the purpose of this school is? To cater to the needs of disabled students? Muto scratches his head as he shakes it. No. If we wanted to do that, we would have built a whole new school from scratch. One floor, talking whiteboards, that kind of thing. Look around, Nakai. This school is about giving you all a future that you would have been denied in regular education. Huh? Think of it this way. If we wanted you to graduate and go straight into a hospital, do you think we'd put in this much effort? The bluntness of Muto's statement temporarily stuns me, causing me to forget about the immediate situation. No? That's right. We want you all to leave here as useful members of society. I'm not quite sure I'm following you. I have high hopes for you, Nakai. You are possibly the first student I've had that gets my lectures. That isn't something that a teacher should be admitting so freely. You could easily take your studies of science well into university. Have you ever considered that? I can't say I have. Well, what have you considered? For your future, that is. I can't say that I've put much thought into my future. For a moment, I'm distinctly reminded of Lily questioning me about the same subject. It's only been a little over 5 months since I was gasping for air on the ground. It's too soon to be thinking about the future, and besides, Hanako's problems seem much bigger to me right now. Muto gives a disapproving sigh before continuing. Think of this place as an opportunity. Here, you have boundless facilities, good teachers, plus the added bonus of the nurse and his staff. You should be doing nothing but thinking of the future. Right? As I raise my head to meet his gaze, a thought occurs to me. It's almost like Muto totally sidestepped the issue at hand. Excuse me, but why do none of the staff seem to care when Hanako skips class? I've seen you watch her walk out of class more than once. Shouldn't you at least say something? Well, Nakai, it's not really that simple. Every student here has special needs. If it weren't for that, then we wouldn't have a school here. For example, I wouldn't keep you in class if you're having trouble breathing, would I? But that's not... Muto cuts me off before I can even think about finishing my sentence. Ikazawa's case is very much like that. But instead of CPR or a pacemaker, what she needs is time and space. The faculty was made aware of this from the day she arrived here, thus whenever she feels the need to leave classes, we let her do so. And even though she isn't a star pupil, she seems to pass all of her exams, so it hasn't affected her ability to study. Isn't that enough? I open my mouth to protest, but I can't find a fault in his argument. While her condition does at first seem to be wholly physiological, its worst effects have been on her psyche. It still puts me off, though. Isn't he just passing on the responsibility for her problem? Surely she can't go like this for her entire life. I understand that you might not be used to this kind of thing yet. It's been a big change for you. That said, it's less than a year until graduation now. Maybe you won't have to get used to this school. If you keep your head down, I'm sure you'll do well enough in your exams. I numbly nod, more to simply acknowledge that I'm listening than out of agreement. I felt like I was getting used to this school, but it feels like it's just been thrown back in my face. But what about Hanako? I believe, well, I hope, that she will perform well enough to do what she wants to do. What that is, I don't know. Not all students leave school with an idea of what they want to do, unfortunately. He takes care to emphasize the last word as if it wasn't quite clear enough already, and gives me a moment to mull his words over. Today's been a troublesome day for you, and I doubt you'd be able to concentrate much anyway after all that's happened, so I'll allow you to take the rest of the day off. Your grades have been good in this class so far, which makes me think you won't have any trouble catching up on what we've been doing. He gives a small smile along with his praise, as if to make up for the seriousness of his lecturing before now. Go collect your things, and I'll see you tomorrow. Right, thank you. Muto's roundabout speech has left my thoughts scattered. I'm still not any closer to working out what I can do to help Hanako, if anything, and my mind is all the more confused after what Muto's said. I'm also still bothered by the fact that Hanako was helped at least as much by Shizune, her enemy by proxy, as by myself, but I don't know whether that is just made a male bravado or a genuine concern. While I collect Hanako's and my things from the class, I continue to try and sort out my feelings. I want to say that I understand her, and that I'm there for her, but while I might have been able to say that just yesterday, I can't say it now. I wish I could. Yeah, if you've never had a panic attack before, that's what it looks like. A lot of times. Because I've had them before. I don't really get them much anymore. Usually. But I've had them plenty of times before, and they're never fun. Just getting so consumed by anxiety that you just freeze up and can't focus on anything. And you're just staring blankly at nothing while your thoughts race. It's not fun. I don't recommend it. Honestly, there's a lot of things I've been through and continue to go through that I don't recommend. I lay in my bed, trying to collect my thoughts. After Hanako's panic attack, I found myself fundamentally reassessing the relationship we share and what I know about her. I had a hard enough time dealing with 4 months in the hospital. One look at her scars tells me that she was in one for a lot longer than I was. Be that as it may, I know next to nothing about her past. She has told me about the house fire, but only in the most basic way. And what of her family? I still haven't asked Lily about them. There hasn't been a good opportunity to bring it up. I don't know where she grew up or what her old school was like, nor of her past friends, wishes and ambitions, not even her tastes in music, food, and movies. All the little things that I knew about all of my old friends. Just what have I been doing for all this time I've been with her and Lily? In the distance, I hear the bell signaling the end of classes. With any luck, Lily will soon realize that neither Hanako nor I are around and return to the dormitories. My mobile phone starts to ring, cutting my thinking short. It quite startles me, as I've rarely been called since coming to Yamaku. Hello, Hisao Nakai speaking. Oh, Hisao. I'm glad I found you. You weren't at any of our usual places, so I thought this would be the fastest way to contact you. I probably should have guessed it would be Lily, as she's one of the few people I've given my number to. Even through the phone, her voice sounds slightly on edge. Hanako and I left class early. She had some kind of panic attack. The line goes silent. If it weren't for the background static, I would have thought Lily had hung up on me. I understand. Could you come by my room? I'd like to talk with you. Sure, I'd appreciate the chance to have a bit of a talk, actually. Good, good. I also have some bad news. I think we should discuss this in person. It's hard to grasp the seriousness of the situation from Lily's tone. She sounds so calm most of the time, but that could be a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. Okay, I'll be right there. I collect Hanako's school things from my desk and head straight for Lily's room. Still on that scene. This leaves us how many scenes? 5 more after this. I rap my knuckles on her door and she soon calls me in. Lily sits at the table inside her room, looking a little worse for wear. I guess that's because of the bad news. Following her gesture of invitation, I sit across from her and lay Hanako's things on the table. Well, there's no point in either of us waiting. Would you mind going first, Hisao? What happened today? My memory of the incident is already beginning to fade, but I explain it as best as I can to Lily. Inviting Hanako to work with the group. Shizune and Misha's questioning, our foray into town getting discovered, and the subsequent panic attack. I add Shizune's reaction almost as an afterthought, but Lily seems to take some kind of comfort in hearing about it. I guess rivals don't become rivals for no reason. There must be some history there, but now isn't the time to explore it. I see. She had said her therapist sessions were helping her, but I had my doubts. It's quite a shame. Her birthday has caused problems before, but I had hoped that she would have improved with you around and the more intensive therapy. Where is Hanako now? Last time I saw her, she was in the infirmary. I guess she's gone back to her room by now. She wasn't in the library or the tea room when I checked, so I can only assume that too. You said you also have some bad news. What's the matter? Does it concern Hanako? Lily shifts her position, the body's way of saying she's searching for the right words. My aunt has fallen gravely ill. I'm afraid I'm going to be heading back to Scotland to visit her and to spend some time with my family. What? Is she alright? When do you leave? I'm not altogether sure of exactly how she's faring at the moment, though last I heard she was stable. I'll be leaving Saturday. It's the earliest flight that I could get. Stable. That's code for needs to stay in the hospital. I've been stable long enough to know that, and to know that it doesn't necessarily mean someone is in good condition, but merely treading water. I've been stable before too. I've been stable plenty of times. The most stable I've ever been was when I was in the ICU with pneumonia and I was quote-unquote stable. Hooked up to, 3 different IV lines, 2 strong antibiotics in this fancy machine. I don't ever recommend being stable in the ICU, because if you're stable there, you might not be stable for long. I also don't recommend catching pneumonia. Pneumonia is not fun. On the upside, stable is much better than critical condition. At least she's not on the brink of death. I was there once. Just once. I also don't recommend that either. Stable. That's a relief. Yes, but that means I won't be here for Hanako's birthday. Wanted to tell you now so we could think of something before we told Hanako, but after today's events, I'm not even sure if there's going to be an issue if we simply cancel the party. I don't think that is such a good idea. Hanako already knows that we were planning a party now. To go back on that seems like the wrong thing to do. Also, we should do something for you going away, right? You make it sound as if I won't be coming back. If all goes well, I should only be away for a week, so possibly 2. That's one relief at least. With that in mind, what do you suggest then? Given the circumstances, I don't think karaoke is really appropriate. You're not going away for the greatest of reasons, so having too much fun would feel wrong. What did you do for her birthday last year? Last year, I literally couldn't get her out of her room. She locked the door. All I could do was leave food outside for her, making sure that she was at least eating well. This is perhaps the most depressed I've ever seen and heard Lily act. I feel sorry for her, given how defeated she must feel to be unable to help her closest friend. Perhaps it would be better to throw the party before you leave then. That does sound like it would be the easiest option. I think we should at least tell Hanako both about your trip and her party. I have her things from class as well. That's a good point. Should we go and visit her now? I think that would be a good idea. Part of me is dying to see Hanako. The last time I saw her, she looked like death walking, and these last few hours have torn me apart just thinking about that. We quietly get up and file out of Lily's room. Hanako's room is next door in the same hallway. Knocking lightly gets us no response, but the door proves to be unlocked. Lily pauses for a moment as the handle unexpectedly moves under her hand before opening the door. Hanako's room is startlingly bare and monotone. There are no decorations on the plain white walls, a plain dark blue blanket, and only a few books, papers, and purely utilitarian things on the shelves. Even her bedsheets are monochrome. The entire room feels as subdued as Hanako's character. Hanako herself is laying curled up on her bed. She may not be crying now, but her eyes are closed tightly to stop herself, and the tracks left by her tears still sit on her reddened cheeks. I quietly walk in and set her bag down on her desk, afraid of startling her too much. Hello, Hanako. Hisao told me about what happened today. Are you alright? Hanako's eyes open, though only a little. I'm okay. She tilts her head slightly to look at me, noticing my grimacing before I can hide it. Sorry for making you worry. Really, I'm fine now. She really doesn't look nor sound okay, though at least she seems more calm than she was before. She still looks as if the slightest breath could emotionally break her. I said it before, right? You don't need to be sorry for this. Hisao's right. I shouldn't have hid something like a birthday celebration from you. I see Hanako shiver at the word. Lily picks up on the silence that follows and crouches down to Hanako's level. I'm the one who should be sorry, Hanako. Hanako's eyes open to peer at Lily. She looks at Lily for some time, taking in her face with those dark, analytical eyes of hers. Lily must have made the right impression on her as Hanako recovers enough to prop herself up on the bed and shift to sitting on its side. Hanako worries about many things, but troubling others is foremost among them. Hearing Hanako shuffling, Lily moves forward and feels out the side of the bed, eventually taking a seat beside her and taking Hanako's left hand in both of hers. The feeling of me being out of place when the two are together has lessened in the time that we've known each other, but it's still occasionally very much there. This is one of those times, I think. Lily, if you want me to go... I don't want that. Lily and I are both surprised at Hanako mustering her courage. A half-mumbled okay is all I can give her in reply, and I take her desk chair to sit in. Hanako, I'm afraid I have some bad news. So Lily's going to break the news now. With Hanako having affirmed our relationship so clearly, perhaps Lily thought the timing was good, or at least as good as it will ever be. My aunt has fallen ill, so I need to return to my family for a time. Concern replaces Hanako's remorseful expression. Your family? You mean in Scotland, right? That's right. Akira and I will be leaving Saturday. So you're going away? I won't be gone for long. Probably only a week or two. I'll be back before you know it, and Hisao will be here, right? That's right, I'm not going anywhere. Hanako seems to take only minor comfort in this, but she does manage to summon some resolve from somewhere inside her. Is your aunt going to be alright? I'm not sure. Silence falls. It's depressing that the thing to truly bring Hanako out of her rut is another's misfortune. I decide to bring up the other matter that brought us here to distract at least in part from the dismal feeling permeating the room. Anyway, we were thinking that it would be a good idea to have a going away party for Lily, and it could double as... yeah. I cut myself off before mentioning her birthday, as that seems to be a trigger for such fierce emotions within her. Lily gives Hanako's hand a gentle squeeze. Is it alright by you, Hanako? It won't be anything lavish or overdone, just something small in my room. So, just in the school? Just us? That's right, just the three of us. If you like, I could ask Akira to come as well. Okay. You're only going for a week? 1 week or 2, yes. I promise you it won't be any longer. Okay. Most people would be upset at hearing about a friend's family member falling ill and happy at having a party, but with Hanako it seems that both events are on the same level. Alright then. You look like you need a rest, Hanako, so it might be best if we all went back to our rooms for now. You know that if you ever want anything, you can always talk to me or Hisao, right? Lily's voice is pensive, an unusual edge for someone as confident in herself as she. I understand. Thank you, Lily Hisao. Well then, good night, Hanako. Night. I let out a long breath after the door closes behind us. It feels a little like I've been deep underwater and only now have been able to come up for air. Lily doesn't seem to be doing well either. She looks pale and drawn. Are you alright? I'm just a little tired. It's been hectic recently. Have you slept at all? A little tired sounds like an understatement given how you look. I think I managed to get a couple hours of sleep before class. I'll be okay. I feel bad over pressing Lily right now. I think both of us are pretty tired from everything that's happened as well. I think you should get some rest. It's been a big day and staying up isn't good for your complexion. Thank you for your concern, Hisao. Good night then. Okay, night, Lily. I leave Lily in the hallway as she opens the door to her room and begin to make my way to my own. As I walk down the quiet hallway, I can't get that image of Hanako out of my mind. Huddled and pitiable, lying helpless with tears on her cheeks. I begin to think that she was just a normal, if extremely shy person, but her problems run much deeper. Trying to take our relationship further than what we share now, when she's so fragile and vulnerable, wouldn't be right. I don't need to be more than her friend in order to protect her. To try and stop anything like this ever happening again. The possibility of my feelings for her going beyond that doesn't matter anymore. Hanako is precious to me, and that's why I can't take advantage of her. But even so, there's still that sting I feel when I think that way. For now, I need to sleep. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be a better day. Okay, let's see what scene we're on. Okay, we have 5 more scenes, but we're coming up on 3 hours. I think we'll save and call this just part 1 of Act 3, just because I feel my voice starting to get a little scratchy. And... Are you kidding me? I loaded the save. I am a stupido. Uh, I am so stupido. I keep forgetting that you have to make a new save. You can't just load a previous, or you can't save over a previous save. Also, it is kind of funny seeing this move in like just super fast motion. Okie dokie. Save this time, not load. I pretty much have a save for every major decision we've had to make leading to this route. Because I loaded the save, we lost out on 2 hours of the playtime we had. That's not correct. So I'm gonna have to, at some point, just let this sit for like 2 hours, and then... or at least go back through the VOD and jot down what time we were at before I completely screw this up. Just so I can get this to an accurate playtime. Though it's also going to be kind of messed up because I think one of these I accidentally loaded it and had to zoom back to current. But yes, about 2 hours 50. I've yapped a bunch. My voice is getting a little scratchy, so next Monday we will do the second half of Act 2. And then the Monday after, we will do all of Act 4, because it's not super long. But we made good progress, and experienced all the emotions, as usual. Nope. Wrong camera. This camera. But that was a nice little stream. But yeah, now I can't not think of that scene as what I learned in boating school. That is funnier than it really should be, honestly. So yes, I'll rename this VOD as Part 1 of Act 3. Now, let us find someone to raid into for today. See what people are doing. I'm probably gonna be yapping a bunch on Wednesday when we have Family Feud, which again, I will give you all the details for that Wednesday morning. Not too many people streaming. Not a surprise. So let's see. There's someone I haven't raided into recently. We're gonna raid into the always cool FuzzGod Games, who is playing Mina the Hollower. I have heard nothing but good things about this game. It looks very fun. So let us send our love to Fuzz. So as always, my lovely, lovely catfish, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Monday and a rest of your week. And remember, Big Sis loves you always. Mwah.
There's a garden where I go. If you meet me there,